Hello and welcome to another tutorial from MOO ICT. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a sniper shooter game in WPF and C#. Call this game Snipe The Dummies. Then let's just take a look at what this game does. So we have these positions where these dummies will pop up. Then as soon as you shoot one, you'll have a little ghost that sort of flies out, and then you can see the score. So the mouse cursor has been removed and you can see a little sniper scope that you can shoot with. So as soon as you click on one of them, okay, the ghost will pop up and then it will fly off. Okay, so I can see that I've shot about 13 and I missed about 41, 42 of them. So it's all down to playing around with a couple of timers. So they spawn and respawn in different locations, and then you're supposed to click and shoot as many as you want. Okay. Right, so this is going to be a fun tutorial to do. Let's just get started on it. Okay, so now click on new project. Make sure you pick the WPF app.net framework. Click next. Let's name this one Snipe The Dummies WPF MOO ICT. Okay, click on create project. Before we begin, make sure you download the images from the link in the description. So it's going to take you to this page. I have a written tutorial on here as well about how to make this game, but for the video tutorial, just download the images and extract them in your downloads. Okay, so these are the images that we have. So you have the background image. I've got a couple of colored dummies that are made in PowerPoint. I have the ghost image and the sniper image as well. So inside the background image, you'll see that they've got the spaces where they're going to spawn in the game. You also have the spaces where we're going to show the text as well. Right, so in the blank project, let's go to the Solutions Explorer. Right click on Solutions Explorer in the name of the project. Click on Add. Make a new folder here called Images. Right click on the Images folder. Click on Add. Go to Existing Item. So here you can go to the Downloads. Then change the file type to image files here. You can see all the images. And then just select all, click on add. Okay, so now they've all been added to the project. I'm going to resize this so you can see the code better. Change the title first. So I'll say let's just call it Snipe The Dummies MOO ICT. We can leave the height and the width exactly the same because the background is designed to fit into this window here. We can just change the resize mode to can minimize only, so we should be able to resize the window when it's running. So we don't need the grid, we need a canvas. So let's change that to a canvas. Let's give it a name, my canvas, and set focusable to true. Let's give it background color of like light blue. So after that, we're gonna need to add two events to this one. So we need a mouse left button down event. So this one is going to be shoot dummy, and then a mouse move event. Okay, and then we can call this one canvas underscore mouse move. So with these two events added, we're going to need 3 elements for this game. The first one is going to be an image. It's going to be the sniper scope. So image, say name, a scope image. So let's give it a height of 60 and a width of 60. Now we want the sniper scope to be above all the other elements in the game. So inside of the XAML we have something called a panel.zIndex, like so. So inside of here we can sort of layer the items to match all the items that we have in the screen. So I'm just going to say like 999 to this one. So this is going to be above all the other elements in the game. So at the moment it's created there. To identify, you can also give it a background image, but we don't have to, so you can just move it over here. So as you move it, you can see that you added a canvas left and top element. Okay, so we can leave that there. We need 2 labels. So we need label. Let's go some name. This one's going to be for the score text. So content, say score. Let's give font size of 14. Font weight extra bold. So say canvas left. It's going to be 660. And then canvas top going to be 65. And because I have the background set for the text images, so we need to set it to exactly where they are. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate that by hitting Control D. Let's call this one mist text, and let's do score. This one can say mist. So the left is going to be 660 again, but the top for this one is going to be 20. So it'll be just above this text there. These are all the elements that we actually need for the XAML part. The rest of the elements are going to be added through the C# script. So let's go and add the events that we need. So if I right click on the shoot dummy, click on go to definition, that's been added there. Right click on the mouse move, go on definition. Okay, that's been added there as well. Okay, first thing we need is to import the threading namespace. So say using system.windows.threading. Okay, so by using that, we can actually import use the dispatcher timer. Okay, we need another function here. So we're going to say private void show dummies. So this is the function that's going to spawn the dummies. Okay, so this one's going to take 4 different arguments. So I'm going to say int x. So that's going to be the x value, x position value of the dummies. Y value of it. Skin. So that's going to determine which color to pick from the list. And then a string tag. So it's going to be attached to the tag of the dummies that we actually create. So let's add the variables for this game. So image brush. This one's going to be for the background image. Do another image brush here. This is the ghost sprite. There's the image brush. And we're going to need a couple of timers. Dispatcher timer, let's say dummy move timer. Okay, and another one for the ghost animation. Show ghost timer because new dispatcher timer. I'm going to need to have a top count and a bottom count as well. We're in school and miss. Okay, we need a list of integers. So for the top location there, then list again, the integer for bottom location. We need another list for rectangles. Hold, remove this. We use this one to remove the items, which includes the dummies and the ghost. Okay, random. So these are the variables that we need for this game. So we've got 2 image brushes, 2 dispatcher timers, 4 integers here, 2 integer lists, a list of rectangles, and a random number generator. Okay, so inside the constructor here, you can add the default values for this game. So as this is the first constructor to run, so we can actually put in our own instructions. We can say my canvas focus. So we want the canvas to be in focus when the game loads, and let's hide the cursor. So this cursor equals cursors.none. Okay, so we don't want the cursor to show when the game loads. Let's set up the background image. Resource equals image new URI. So inside of here we can give the path to the images folder. So say pack application, then 3 commas, and right after that we'll say images, then background.png. Okay, so the background is a PNG file, so they're all PNG files really. Okay, just make sure that you got the spelling right in the folder name as well. Okay, now just assign the background to the canvas. Background equals background image. So now let's assign the scope image. So the scope image is a image, not a rectangle. So we can directly call the scope image here. There's a new bitmap image. Actually, I can just copy that. Okay, and then the name of the sniper-aim. PNG. Okay, so that should assign it to the image. Then what we also need is, because we're going to be clicking on other items, we don't want the image here to get clicked on, so we need to tell WPF that we don't want any hit test on this image. So it is a scope image dot is hit test visible, to set that to false, so that way the image will exist but it will not be able to, we will not be able to interact with it when the mouse is clicked. So say ghost sprite image source equals back to again ghost.png. Okay, and then we can say dummy move timer.tick plus equals, so that's going to be the event that's linked to the dummy move timer. So move timer.interval equals time span dot from milliseconds. We want that to randomly, each time the game loads, we want the speed to be a random. So what we can do is here is say random.next. So somewhere between, let's say 800 and 2000. Just going to generate a random number, so that's going to be used from that millisecond. Okay, so say dummy move timer dot start. Okay, so now let's do the show ghost timer. So ghost timer dot tick plus equals ghost animation. Interval is going to be equals to time span from milliseconds again, but this time we want it to be 20, because the ghosts need to have a smoother animation than the dummies when they are moving between sections in the game. So say show ghost timer dot start. Okay, so this timer here is going to control the dummy move, and this timer here is going to control the ghost when they are spawned into the game. Right here I can say top location equals new list, and then do the curly brackets and the semicolon. Instead of here we can say 270, 540 and 23. So these are the top 3 locations or the top section of the background here. So the background attached, we want them to show up on these 3 locations there from the top. So, and then we also have the bottom location there. Goes new list with the curly brackets again, and then we can say 128, 678, and then 138. In order to sort of randomize it a bit better, what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat some of these in a different order. So say 540 again here, say 270, and then put 23 in the end. Let's say 678, 128, let's stop there, 128, and then 138. Okay, so So we're going to use the randomizer to pick a random location. So between 3, it usually picks the same number multiple times. So if we add 3 more, then it gives us a chance to sort of slightly randomize it a little bit more. Okay. So now if we just hover over the dummy tick line, then just go to show potential fixes and click on the first one. I will add the event here for us. Just don't need that line here. Go to the second one, do the same. Okay, delete that line there. That's fine. Okay, so in order to test this out, what you can do is just run this, see if the background and the sniper image gets assigned. So as you can see, the sniper image file is assigned. I can't see the mouse inside of the canvas. So the background is assigned and the sniper scope image is assigned as well. So next bit is let's get the sniper scope moving. Let's go with the cursor mouse move here. Okay, so let's go here and say point position equals get position. So this. Okay, so we create a new point with the position there. Now let's use a double, say px. Let's go with the position x value. So say position x here. Make another double y with the position dot y value. Okay, now let's say canvas dot set left. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is scope image, send scope image, and then x minus scope image divided by 2, because we want the mouse to be positioned in the middle of the scope image there. Without width, forget about the width. Okay, so we want the mouse to be positioned in the middle of the scope image. But if you didn't have that, it would usually have it right in the corner. So that would be the default location. So we want it to be middle from here, and then now we're going to do the middle from the top as well. Okay, so that's the set left, and let's say canvas.set top. Scope image, generate to the py minus to the brackets here actually. So say scope image dot height, divide that by 2. Okay, so if we run that now, you should be able to see the scope moving with the mouse move. Okay, let's see how it's in the center of it. You can't see in the thing. If we move it to the title, you should be able to see the mouse. So as half of the image has gone past, and then you should be able to see the mouse when as soon as half of the scope has gone past the side of the canvas as well. Okay. Alright, so far so good. So I think let's do the show dummies function first. Then what we do in the timers will make a bit more sense. Okay, so inside of this function, we need to create an image brush first. Okay, let's say call it dummy background. Image brush. Okay, so let's go and switch the skins now. So whatever value that is being passed from inside of this skin integer, that's a part of this function, but we're going to determine which color of the dummies should be spawned into this scene with that. Okay, so let's go in, because we only have 4, we're going to do 4 cases. So let's do case 1, do a break here, just gonna copy and paste. Probably not that one. Okay, and then say dummy background here, and then let's just go make sure I got the right name. So it's dummy 01 png. Okay, dummy 01 png, like so. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy and paste that here, change that to 2, change that one to 2, to 3, and that one to 4, like so. Let's make a new rectangle here. So a rectangle called new rec equals new rectangle. Put the semicolon in the end of the line there. Okay, so first of all, the tag is going to be attached to the tag that's passed in through this function. The width is going to be 80. Height will be 155. And say fill is going to be dummy background that we just generated. Okay, so because we pretty much passing in all the values that we need, so we just need to make sure that they go into the right places. Okay, so now it's just a canvas dot set left first. So that's the x value of the new the dummy image. So new rec. Okay, it's going to be x, and then canvas dot set top new rec again. Pass in the y value here. So it's going to set whatever y value that we pass through here. We will set it to the x and the y. Okay, well, after that we can say my canvas dot children dot add. Now we can add the new rec. So the new dummy image will get added to the canvas. Okay, so let's do the dummy move tick event here. So we can actually see the dummies being spawned into the scene. The first thing we're going to do is let's clear the remove this list. So anything that's inside of it will get cleared off. So let's do a for each loop here. So this one, say var I, I'm going to look for my canvas children of type. Let's look for rectangles. Yep. First we're going to look for any of the dummy images that has a tag called top or bottom. So because we're going to be creating them with those tags, we need to identify if there are any existing ones on the scene, and then we remove those, and then we can add the new ones. Okay, so say for example, if a string I dot tag is equals top, okay, or so it's bottom. So if there's any of them that exist with these two tags, we're going to add them to remove this. Okay, and remove this, sorry, add. Okay, so remove this. Once we add it to this list, we'll be able to remove it from the canvas inside the ghost animation, because this one here is going to tick at a very random speed, but this one here is going to be consistent with 20 milliseconds. So we can add this there and make sure that we get the better performance of that. Okay, and then what we'll do is top count will minus equals 1 from there, and then also take 1 out of bottom count as well. Okay, and miss is going to be plus equals 1. Okay, so if we find 1, then obviously the player hasn't shot that dummy, then we can add 1 to the miss there. Okay, so outside of this for each loop, yeah, we can say if top count is, let's say, less than 3. Okay, now we can simply go ahead and say show dummies. So inside of this function, we have got a x, y value, skin, and then a tag. Okay, because we're looking for the top values here, what we can say is top locations right there, to the 2 square brackets. Inside of there, we'll say rand.next. In the bracket, you can say between 0 and 5. Okay, it's going to figure out where to put the dummies in the x value first. Okay, now obviously in the top location, the value is going to be 35. That's where the top location for all the dummies that are going to be placed in the top first. And then as for the skins, we're going to say rand.next. Pick a random value between say 1 and 4. Okay. And then obviously the tag is going to be top. Okay, so you give the random top location for the X, a value for the Y, because that's the top layer. Pick a random skin, so whatever numbers that's passed through will pick a skin and attach it to the new rectangle, and then it will have a string called top as its tag. Okay, so after that we'll just say top count plus equals 1, so we'll just add 1 to the top count there, because we don't want it to spam the screen with lots of dummies being spawned, so we want them to sort of have between 2 dummies at a time. Okay, so now go to the bottom count. They're going to do a similar thing here. If bottom count is less than 3, once again we say show dummies. Now inside of here we're going to say bottom count and do the square brackets. Then next between 0 and 5. Okay. And remember, any list that starts, the first child is always 0. So although we have got 6 locations here, it doesn't go from 1 to 3. It goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically we have got 6, but we start from 0. Okay, so a comma here. So the bottom location is 230. And then we go to next between 1 and 4, and then obviously that's what's going to have a tag called bottom. I said bottom count is the bottom location. The bottom count is a integer, it's not an array, so it doesn't know what to do with that. So right now it should be okay. Okay, and then so I can say bottom count plus equals 1. Okay, so we should be able to try out the game now. Let's have a go. So let's see how they spawn. So at the moment they're spawning in the locations there. It spawns there as well. How it doesn't spawn in the middle here. Okay, let's take a look. I think it's the locations. Okay, oh yeah. I've got 138 instead of 420. Made a mistake there, so 420 there. Last one say 420. So we've got 128, 678, 420. Then we just randomized the positions there a little bit. This one's got them. Right, that's fine. So let's try it out again. We should be able to spawn at least one ghost in each location. The top locations are working. The bottom one is okay. Yeah, you know. So now it's positioning them in there. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to instead of putting 420 on, I'll put 138 instead. Okay, that's right, no problem. That's why it's good to test it frequently as much as possible. Right, so right now we have got the ghosts being added to the scene, and they're also being added to the remove, but it's not exactly it's not removing anything from the list here. Okay, so right now this part here is working, but we haven't added the bit where it needs to remove anything from the canvas just yet. So what we'll do is, before the ghost animation, we can do the shoot dummies bit here, and then we'll do the ghost animation last. So inside of this event, we could say is if the original source is a rectangle. So we clicked on a rectangle. So let's make a new rectangle here called active rec equals, let's say, rectangle here. Then we link it back to the original source there. Now we can say my canvas.children So remove, so we can remove that rectangle from there. Active rec. Okay, so what that would do is that would simply just remove the rectangle that we have clicked on. Okay, then we can say school plus plus. Okay, right, so if I click on this one, it's gone. Click on this one, it's gone as well. And then okay, so see, okay, that's fine. So now one of the problems that we're going to come across is as soon as the top count and the bottom count have hit more than 3, right, they're gonna stop spawning. So what we need to do, we need to figure out which one we clicked on, check the tags, and then reduce the top count and bottom count back again so they can start spawning again. Okay, so let's go here and say if, say string active rec dot tag is equals top, right? If it has a tag, the one that we clicked on has a tag called top, right, then we just say top count like so, minus equals 1, so we reduce 1 from the top count. Okay, so do the same for the bottom as well, then reduce 1 from the bottom count. Let's try that now. So let's see, they are spawning, click on them. Okay, so as you can see, we've clicked on more than 3 at this point, and they're still spawning back into the game. Okay, so far so good. Right, one thing we need to do is when we click on one of them, I want to be able to spawn a ghost right there. So whatever it is clicked, spawn a ghost, and then the ghost should be able to animate to the top. Okay, so then inside of the if statement, let's go and create a new rectangle. Oh, ghost rec sounds about right. New rectangle here. Okay, let's give this a width of 60, height 100, and fill can be the ghost sprite that we created earlier. Okay, and tag ghost of the dummy. Okay, I need to get the position for this rectangle as well. Say canvas.get left. Say ghost rec there, and now we need to find the mouse position. So mouse.get position. Okay, it's in my canvas, so just to be able to say where did we click exactly. Right, dot x. Also that needs to be set left, not get left. Right, and then canvas dot set top. Ghost rec again. Okay, position my canvas dot y. Okay, so you should be able to add it there. We also need to add it to the canvas. So children dot add ghost rec. So let's try that out. So now when I click on one, okay, so he adds it, but he adds it, it's not in the center of it. Okay, so as you can see, it's not in the center of where it needs to be. So I want to add it right as I click on it. Okay, so right here, what we can do is say -40. This is a width to about -60. So if I can move it towards middle of the cursor, and then this one I could say minus about 60 maybe. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so much better. So now it's adding it to where I can actually click instead of being in the corner. It's there. Okay. I can actually click on the ghost as well. Oh, nice. That should be a simple solution. So we can say here is, let's try this. So I say if it's top or if it's bottom. Yeah, so if it has any one of these tags, and then we're going to basically remove it, and we can move all of this inside of that if statement as well. So that way, if we by mistake click on the ghost, we don't get any score. Okay, let me just try that. Click on one, so now I can't click on the ghost. Okay, so I can only click on the dummies. Okay, there's no point shooting the ghost. Poor thing. Okay, so with that being done, now let's get to the actual ghost animation timer. Okay, because this timer is going to be running a lot faster than the other one. So here we can link the score text and the miss text as well. So say score text dot content equals to score plus score, and then miss text dot content is equals to missed plus missed, miss plus missed. Yeah. Okay, we need to run it for each loop here. So for x, let's say my canvas again the children of type. So once again we're looking for rectangles. Okay, so if a rectangle has a tag, so the tag is usually a string, so go with a tag here called ghost, then we're going to be moving the ghost upwards. So set top and go to x, and then canvas dot get top location first of the x, and then we can say minus 5. Okay, and inside of here we can say if obviously that if the ghost has left the scene from the top, we also want to remove it, so we need to add it to the remove this list. So say canvas dot get top x is less than minus 180. If that is so, then we're gonna say remove this, remove this, add x. Okay, so that way that's done. So we need to run another for each loop here. So this for each loop is going to be responsible for actually removing all the rectangles from inside the remove this list here. So say rectangle, if you go to the end of it, rectangle here, say rectangle y in remove this, because this list contains all the rectangles. You can just say my canvas dot children dot remove y. So it's going to be removing the ghost as well as the dummies that we haven't shot. So let's try this out. Okay, so now as you can see, whenever they move, they clean up the location and then they move to another one. Okay, and then when I tap on one, oh sorry buddy, oh no, come back here. Okay, there we are. So now the ghosts are leaving the scene, and they're also getting removed from the game as well. There's a lot of ways to make this game more fun. You can also add sound effects to the shots. You can also add sound effects to the ghosts. I mean, you know, you can do pretty much anything that you want. I thought this was going to be a fun tutorial to just play around with WPF canvas just to see what kind of stuff I can do with it. I do hope you guys had fun with this tutorial, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, happy programming.